Hi guys. I'm here because I just wanted to keep you updated on my progression with my silicone that was gifted to me to learn to paint or to paint it for myself because I've never had a silicone doll. And all the supplies were sent to me, and I thank you. I'm so grateful to Kay, who did that for me and entrusted me. But there's no but about it. Trevor always says, if you say but, then nothing in the beginning is the truth. Well, that's not the case here. I'm saying but because this breaks my heart. I watched and followed each step with with Carolyn Daughtry. She has a silicone, you used to have to pay for it, but it's a silicone step-by-step how to do your silicone baby. And you follow the steps, and I did it every time and paused it, did a little bit, paused it, a little bit, paused it. Along the route, she spoke about powdering, matting the baby at the end and how to go about that. Now, I do know, before I got to that point, I said, oh, I messed up because I held the baby and I messed up the silicone a little bit and it looks like it has a rash and stuff like that. And I did do that. I own that. That's silly of me. However, I will say, got to the matting part. And in her video, she speaks about using just 2 matting powders. She speaks about, I don't know what one is, but one is velvet matting powder, or silicone velvet matting powder, or something along those lines. She shows the bag. I've seen the bag. It's all wonderful. I will say, along the route of doing my baby, before I would flip the baby over, because I do one side, flip the baby over, do the other side. So along the route of doing my baby, I would powder it with some of the powder. I just put a little bit of powder on it, and it would mat it nice. Felt so nice and soft and matted nice. I'd flip it over, and then I would do the next steps. Follow through with the steps. Carolyn Daughtry also spoke about a certain, and I remember saying FX, and I thought she said Reborn FX, but I never went back to look. And she said FX matting powder or whatever it is. She said a lot of people were struggling with that, having trouble with it, right? Now, I was using all the materials that Kay gave me, and I'm so grateful for that. I didn't have anything else. I had this stuff, and I thought, well, this can't be the same stuff because it is an FX, but it says Fuse FX. I don't know if anybody else have used this, but I have the powder to go with it, Fuse FX, and it has these instructions. So I thought, well, it can't be the same stuff, but I said strange. Instructions are strange. But I said, even if it's the same stuff, it's the only stuff that I got. So I thought, if I follow the instructions to a T, it should be okay, right? That's what you would think, right? Not. Kay, don't use this stuff. Don't use it. It will ruin your baby. This company, it needs to stop selling this stuff because these kits are not cheap. We all know it. They're not cheap. And it has nothing to do with my artistry. I'm sorry, but I followed these instructions exactly. Okay? So it says, after you complete the final coat, touch-ups, and air, whatever, mix together equal amounts of Part A and this stuff. Then apply a thin coat to the piece and let cure with a hairdryer. So, I mix this with Part A. Now, is it because the Part A I have is not the part A that they're talking about? Are they not talking about part A of part A, part B, SILICONE, or is that what it's called? Are they not talking about that? Or are they talking about something different? Because I did that. And it doesn't say anything about mixing in a solvent or mixing in a thinner or nothing. Just those things. And if you look at this thing, look, it's a thick sort of gluey type stuff. And you mix that with part A, well, it's not a runny stuff. It's a sticky kind of stuff, right? So I said, okay, well, I'm doing exactly what I measured it. I'm doing exactly what they said. So what can be going wrong, right? Yeah, okay. I'm mad because I did it. And then after it says, then after you then apply a thin coat to the piece and let cure, force dry with an air dryer. Well, I actually let it cure. I didn't force dry, didn't do nothing. I went, then I came back. Apply second coat of this shit. Just this shit. Just this shit, okay? Go over the surface with a dry brush to pick up any extra blobs of paint. So anything blobby, you want to make sure it's not there. I did that. The surface must be just moist. Otherwise, it will leave little specks of white powder. So just moist. So what does that mean? This is sticky shit. So when it says just moist, just moist. So does it mean not sticky? Does it mean not dry? What does that mean, just moist? Well, it seemed just moist to be. I just put it on. Otherwise, we'll leave it. In this case, if it leaves little specks of white powder, you can touch it up by carefully scraping off the little powder and applying a little color. What kind of fucking thing is this? This is sorry, my language, please. I apologize, but I'm pissed because this stuff with the matting powder that comes with it shouldn't have this problem. If it does have this problem, they shouldn't be selling this because these kits are too expensive to be just messing up, right? I should have followed Carol Daughtry. I should have went back and seen if this is what she was speaking of. And just left it and ordered something else. Because I did this. So then, just moist. While the clear is still wet, or just moist, you tell me, loosely apply the matting powder by sprinkling or using a dry brush like you put on for makeup. You know what I'm saying? And don't rub it, just powder it around, right? And I remember I watched Carol Daughtry, but I'll tell you what, Carolyn Daughtry, I'll tell you, she did it beautifully. Well, she's she's up there, but she didn't use this shit. She used A and B with a little bit of cycle paint with some solvent. She put a coating over all the baby. She put her gloves on. She made sure that all the blobs were in and everything was good. And it was not wet, but just sticky tacky. She showed you how to do it. And then she showed you how to put the powder on. Now that sounds like to me the beautiful covering that I talked about in between when I flipped the baby over and put a little bit of powder on, how beautiful and how nice and soft it felt. That seemed exactly the way it should be. Okay? So, but I thought, well, this powder came with this stuff. So this is not this, really nice velvety stuff. This came with this stuff. So I have to use this because this talks about this stuff fusing with that because it has to cure for 3 hours or you have to put in a little oven and whatever. Anyway, go back to this story, okay? So, You don't have to apply lots of powder, just a little stippling to cover the surface. A little goes a long way. All right, all good. Once the surface is fully covered, use a hairdryer to force catalyzed the clear and powder together for a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes. Well, I didn't do that. I didn't want to take a chance. It said, or let it cure for about 3 hours. I did. Let it cure for over 3 hours. Is that the problem? Over 3 hours? It wasn't right there? I don't know. And then it talks about you put it in the oven. It's too hot. It may cause the powder to crystallize, creating an unsurface or whatever. Once cured, you can wash the prosthesis. I think they're talking about these kits. Under warm to hot water and a little soap. Pat dry until the surface is now ready. Meaning that it's all matted. Then it said if you missed any spots, you can apply more of this crapadoodles to the shiny areas and add a little powder. Again, use a hairdryer if you need to. If you find that the surface is too matte, what's too matte mean? Not shiny, not sticky, really nice. You can always add a little sheen, whatever that means, back to the already matte surface by stippling a very light, thin coat of this. This thing. Okay, so, you know what happened to my baby? Well, my beautiful baby became an ooey, gooey mess. My beautiful, beautiful baby became an ooey, gooey mess because of this shit. Who else has used this stuff? Please let me know because I followed the instructions. So, I have been spending time picking off balls of gooey, white goop, and I actually got just a brush, because every time you use a brush, you can't use it long. You got to throw it out and get a new one. You know, with silicone, you must. You can't reuse brushes. So I got a brush and just some solvent, putting it on, just that. Okay, that's all. Trying to lift up this ooey, gooey mess. My baby looks like it has a coat of white lang to go or whatever on the frickin' thing. Because this and the part A was mixed together and applied with no solvent, a thick kind of like a gluey film, whatever the hell it was. It's actually, here, let me show you. Okay. This is the baby's arm. Now that's not matted. Does it look matted to you? It's sticky still. This is after the powdering. This is after all that. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you, oh, it's the other way. No, how do you guys do that? Something like that. I don't know if you can see the little pieces of white. Okay? But see where, I'm going to show you. See here, it has little knuckles. Oh my goodness. The little knuckles and little lines for the knuckles, like just little indentation lines, right? Well, guess what it did to my baby's toes? Is it this doll? This little baby's toes, I don't know if you can see it, the little lines that go across like for its knuckles and stuff totally disappeared. like that goop went in there and settled in there. It's gone. And I made sure that everything was spread out good. But did they forget to say, put solvent in there? Because if they did, this is terrible. This is terrible. I mean, terrible. All this work. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but the baby has like a white, almost like it's like a film. It's like a white, I don't know how you'd say it. Like, looks like soap scum or something across the baby. Okay? And the whole time I was making sure nothing was dripping. I noticed I did have a couple drips, but I'm learning, right? This here is not matted. It's sticky as hell. It's terrible. It's ruined this doll. This doll is mine. I'm going to love it forever. I'm learning from this doll, but I'm angry about this because I know she wouldn't have turned out like this. And she wouldn't have had, I'm calling her a she wouldn't have had this white sort of, oh my gosh, I wish you guys could see this, sort of fuzz or soap scum or whatever the hell is on there. Now, this is her head. Sticky as hell. Not matted at all. And this is supposed to be, according to this, if it's too matte, you can do this and that and the other thing. Too matte? It's sticky as hell still. Look, this is my baby. She's beautiful to me. She has rash and stuff. But if you can look at her head, can you see that white goop? Ooh, can you see that white goop on her? When I'm touching her, it's almost like I have this, I don't know what, all over my hands. On her forehead, it is there. This white goop stuff. And it's like, look, I just touched her there and I can see my fingerprint. This has been sitting. I never touched it all night. It should be cured. Like, what the hell? I'm so frustrated because I love this little baby. I don't know. Can you see the white here? I need to get a different phone because it's not good. Maybe here. No, you can't see there. There's like a white. It's like the powder. It's like the powder. Didn't go on like a powder would go on. It went on and turned into some gluey mess. It's awful. Awful. Terrible. I'm going to love this girl. I picked all, you know how long it took me to pick all these little pieces off this thing? This baby. A long time. And I still love her because she's so realistic looking because of the thing. But ooh. So now, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to try and do what Carol Dodry did, which was just take equal amounts of A and B Psycho Paint and put in the solvent, spread it all over it, use the gloves like she did in the video, put this somewhere where the sun don't shine, because this stuff, don't use it, Kay. Don't use it. Don't anybody use it. And I'm going to try that other powder that I have, because when I did it before, and it was just like that, and I did it powdered before I flipped the baby over, it was beautiful. Beautiful. So soft and nice and not sticky. And if that doesn't work, I'll have to get the powder from away, but it's like, what am I going to do? Help me, guys. Okay, I'm going to try and see what I can do, and then I'll be back. Yes. I forgot to mention that the paper also said to take that after it's all matted and run it underneath warm water with a little soap, clean it all up, and then it should be good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I got the baby cleaned up with soap and stuff, rinsed all up again, letting it dry. I'll let it air dry. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to do nothing. But a little soap, little warm water, and let it air dry. Still sticky. You know what, guys? I'm scared to put... Well, I shouldn't be. It should be okay. How about this? Please comment below. Do I attempt to... Okay, help me out. I know you're out there. Do I take A and B silicone, Psycho, I keep forgetting that name, so I shouldn't forget it, but I do. Psycho, A and B, equal parts. Mix it up like Carolyn Daughtry did with some solvent, which is paint thinner. Mix that in. Put a layer over with a wide brush like she does, all over the doll. Get the gloves like she does. Take the gloves and just go all over the whole doll to get all the, I guess, if there's any sticky clumps of the mixture on there, and get it all off. And she actually takes the gloves off and pats the doll all around and does all that. And she says, it's not wet, but it's tacky. And that's when you apply the powder. That would be anybody out there who has done this before and maybe had dealings with this weird fuse, FX, whatever. Is that what you do? Is that what you would do next? Or did I really mess up along the way and I really don't know why? Like, how did I mess up? What did I do? I'm going to show you the baby. You know what? Even though the baby has parts where you can tell there's something there, and if I rooted the baby, you wouldn't even notice. I know it's there, though. I know there's some here and some up here and the fingers a little bit. And I know that the knuckles and the toes and stuff where you have all those lines, a lot of them are non-existent because that shit filled in. I know all that, but that's okay. My baby, big experience, big experience. So grateful once again that I had this opportunity, but I feel really bad. I feel bad because you entrusted me and you had confidence in me and faith in me, and I feel like I really messed up. Anyway, I'm going to show you the baby while it's drying. And I'm not going to do anything further until people make some comments below with some suggestions. I know Carolyn Daughtry in her video says, if you use this stuff, I can't help you. So basically, it makes me feel like it's hopeless. But I mean, I don't have any visible white dots everywhere, but I do have some white. It's almost like the powder turned into a glue, and you could see it on there when you know what I mean? And if you didn't try to take it off, your whole doll will be filled with all these powder, little balls of frickin', I don't know. This shit's supposed to fuse together, right? Really? I mean, what the hell happened? Anyway. Give me suggestions below. I really appreciate it. I got a headache. I wanted to have the baby together by now. And I'm thinking maybe the reason why I have a headache from doing all this and not using any masks or open windows. It doesn't have an odor, but I think I freaked up there too. Anywho, guys, here's the baby. Did I show... you know what? The whole time I've been videoing and yakking and yakking and yakking, nothing has been happening. Or has it been? It's saying 14:30. Like, what the hell is going on? Anyway, what I was saying is the color looks like there's no color now, but I'm guaranteeing there was color before. And now, I said before, like, when I was turning the baby over to do the other layers, and I'd go back and forth and back and forth. Well, I had this baby on its side, the head on side, back and forth, back and forth. I put a little bit of powder on it like Carolyn does, and it felt so soft, so nice. Very, very nice and soft. However, I thought to myself when I did that, my gosh, if that's the way the baby's going to feel in the final stages when it's all done, it's going to be so gorgeous, and I can't wait. Because I loved the way it felt and looked. And then I followed these instructions, which puts this goop on it, almost like a glue. And then you put, I mean, if you take any powder, you put like powder on top of like a glue stuff. You know what I mean? It didn't go on nice. It fused with the sticky shit. And it became this gluey kind of yogurty paste, glue paste. Oh! Oh, I don't know if you guys can see. I mean, I'm still going to love this baby forever and ever, amen. But, I mean, this baby's beautiful to me no matter what. It's just, I really was trying to do everything perfect. Please leave a comment of suggestions. What do I do next? Do I take the A and B, mix it together with solvent, put a full coat, and do what Carolyn did with the powder? Is that what I do? I later found out from Kay that she's used this stuff without any issues. So I did something along the way. Something. I don't know. However, thanks, guys.